Good morning. Karma Yoga is for everyone. Regardless of how we think we may have gotten here, here we are in this world, we are in a body, and we have to do something. The word karma literally means actions. Our actions come from our deep impressions called samskars, our habit patterns. And so here we are. As long as we're in a body, we have to procure food in one way or another. We have to prepare food. We have to eat food. We have to live somewhere. Even if we live the most simple and most modest of lives, we have to do something to take care of our body. We have to do something to take care of our living environment. And we have to acknowledge that there are other life forms, other humans around us. We have to do something to live in that. These are all actions called karma. And what is karma yoga? Basically, how do I practice the principles of yoga right in the middle of doing my karma? It's become very popular in these modern times for a man to take his personal name and put it in front of the word yoga, and suddenly we have a new style of yoga. More often than not, it means a new combination of postures. So we have postural yoga called so-and-so yoga. But there are traditional notions of what yoga is about, and karma yoga is one of them, one of the most important. It is not that we do one or the other. Best example we have is the teachings of yoga, of the one yoga that are described in the Bhagavad Gita, where the student is Arjuna and the teacher is Krishna. And if you look carefully at that book, Krishna does not teach Arjuna, you may do karma yoga, or you may do jnana yoga, or you may do raja yoga or bhakti yoga. The sequence of the text through its 18 chapters, symbolic of 18 days of learning and teaching on the battlefield of life, he said, you need to do this, and you need to do this, and you need to do this, and you need to do this. Sitting right in the heart of it is the fact that what Arjuna wanted to do was run away from his duty, from his actions in the world. And he was taught by his teacher, no, you cannot do escapism. You have to do something in the world. And here's what's in front of you to do, and here's how you do it. And this is called karma yoga. Karma yoga applies to all of us. As I was pondering this about karma yoga this morning when I was walking and then a little later, I remembered briefly visiting a Swami who lived in a very small cave in the high Himalayas, right in the middle of a rather large village. It was a very small cave. And a lot of the caves in the high Himalayas, what they have done is with wood, they have a carpenter come and they build a little front. So here's the entrance, a hole of the cave, and they'll put wood here and I guess put mud or some sort of plaster or something. And so they're creating a little wooden frame, and there will be a small door, barely over a yard or a meter tall. You have to duck down to get inside of a cave like this. But it's very, very common that these small caves have an entryway and a door. This is part of having to set up a home. So it doesn't matter whether you're living in a small cave in the high Himalayas or a bigger house in the city with work and career. We have to do something. We have to do actions. We're in the world. Even the Swami in that little cave that I remember has to do some actions. And what is his actions? One of his actions is people like me come wandering by and meet him. And he's a very friendly fella and gave us a cup of chai. And in his cave, he like many of the caves, he had an entryway door. This is taking care of his home. It's just a cave, pretty simple. And inside the cave, I found it intriguing that he had taken white paint and painted the whole inside of his little cave, very small cave, probably about the size of many closets in homes. He had painted it white, and it had a fascinating effect on the little bit of light that was in the place. And, you know, maybe he shouldn't have done this because possibly it was stealing, but he had a wire connected to the power line outside and was illegally using some of the electricity. But in this part of India, I've heard that it was a notorious habit of people stealing electricity. But he had a wire coming into his cave and one single small light bulb hanging from the top of his cave. And that small amount of light had a beautiful effect on the white painted walls of the interior of his cave. My point here being that this is a man who was living completely as a renunciate, as a Swami, as a monk, living in a cave in the high Himalayas. And yet he had to do something to maintain his home. Now, admittedly, he didn't need to put the white paint in, and he didn't have to have a door. But the custom has become that you put a door on the front of your cave. And if you go to some of these high places, you can see the Swamis living in caves with a front door, with a wooden front door, and little latches to close them. Some of them I've even seen, they have locks on the door. I guess so nobody's going to break in and steal my cave or something like that. And inside this man, the way the rocks form, and I don't know if it was chipped away to change it, but there was a flat area over here raised a little bit, and that's where he had a mat where he would lay to sleep and sit for his meditation. And just across from that, I mean, literally about this far away, you could barely walk in, was a little carved out place in the stone, and that's where he had a small, you know, little pump up, little gas cooking stove, and some seasonings sitting there, so when he made his beans and rice, he could cook there. So we all have to do some version of maintaining a home, and we all have to do something for somebody. This is the heart of karma yoga. Do your actions with a mindfulness of the other people around you and who you serve. We have a little ashram here that is huge by comparison to this man's cave. But it's here, not for me, but it's here to attempt to be of service to some other people. This literally applies to everybody. And so it means do our karmas, follow our dharma, follow our nature, be in service to somebody, and recognize that we cannot escape taking care of our home environment. We cannot escape taking care of food. We have to eat food. We have to prepare food. We have to clean up after food. We have to clean our body. We have to toilet. We have to do all these things. This is called karma yoga, and it can make life very, very enjoyable to remember the unity, the yoga, the oneness, the Atman, the self within, right in the middle of living out our karmas. It's a pretty good thing. Anyway, this is what I was pondering this morning, that in fact karma yoga literally is for everybody. So please enjoy your life of karma yoga, and remember that right in the middle of life is our old familiar levels of consciousness called Om, including the symbolic silence after the Om, which symbolizes the Atman, the true self, the Brahma, the reality, the Purusha, the Shakti that's one with Shiva. So, what's it all about? It's all about Om, or Om Tat Sat. Om, that's what it's all about. Could make a song. Om, that's what it's all about, or something like that. Let's not make a song, okay? I was just teasing. I won't sing for you. But anyway, Om Tat Sat. Have a wonderful day, please, and have a wonderful next meditation, okay? Om Tat Sat. Bye-bye.